get the privilege of introducing someone that I know. So this person here is so knowledgeable. I actually had him as a guest on my podcast. I've interviewed him. Actually, I want to say it's been twice. And when I tell you why I've had him on the show twice, when I read a little bit about what he's accomplished, you'll understand why you're going to learn so much about Thomas and about what he has to share in the next 30 minutes. So Thomas Slaughter is an IT services management expert with deep knowledge in business technology, and he has a wealth of knowledge. Also in IT services management and IT security. He holds a bachelor's degree in information management from Cal State University, San Bernardino, so in my county here. He's also gone to the Drucker School of Management. He has advised over 300 executives in over 100 organizations in business technology, IT strategies, and such. He has over 13 years of experience in that particular field, and it's helped organizations restructure their IT departments, develop business continuity plans, develop IT security strategies, and introduce technologies that help mitigate the risks of a cybersecurity breach. Now, I'll just say I just recently added cybersecurity to my business insurance plan, so Thomas, you'll be proud of me. His knowledge and practical, bringing real-world experience to address real-world problems. He has done for Ontario Convention Center, just to name a few. He's done it in the healthcare. He's done it in nonprofit sectors as well. And so I just want to take this opportunity to introduce someone who I've grown to call a friend, but also a wealth of knowledge, Mr. Thomas Slaughter. So welcome him. Give him a virtual hand clap, if you will. You'll be inspired over the next 30 minutes. Take it away.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Let me go ahead and turn on my camera here real quick. Perfect. Can everyone see me? All right, good. All right, I'm going to look some chats where the case is. All right, let's see. Let me look at the chat just be sure that folks can hear me real quick. Let's see here. All right, excellent. All right. We can hear you. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, I appreciate it. That's all I needed. Somebody give me some love and say. So first thing is first, I just want to say thank you everybody for joining us here. I'm going to take you through what I call the entrepreneur journey. Why is it so important? Because a lot of misconceptions in the world are put out in the world about what entrepreneurship is and about how to build a business and the level of success, whatever it takes. We see all this crazy stuff on Facebook, which I all call entrepreneur porn. Somebody standing for a Lamborghini, somebody standing for that's not true. That's not how it particularly works. So I'm going to map it out. I'm going to walk you through on how I built a six-figure business in less than 6 months. And I've done it not once or twice, but I've done it multiple times. Okay, so how's that particular sound? And oh yeah, well, I just want to talk about my first project anyways. So behind me, I'm at a new co-work center that we're building here in San Bernardino, California. And for those who don't know what a co-work center is, our co-work location, it's a place that basically you can go where a lot of collective people are starting off their businesses and say you can't afford to open an office, or say you don't have the funding to maybe get a small little executive office, which is typically a small office in a building. You come to a location like this where they give you a hot desk, and with the hot desk, meaning the desk can work, you stay quiet, you can have all the amenities you need for business. That's fax, that's computers, a copier, whatever it may be that you need. And it's also a place where you can meet with your clients or just have collaborative work. So, I just want to congratulate, those my partners who's the community of a Center of Community in youth development here in San Bernardino. So anyways, let's move on into this presentation. All right, so let's get this going. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick with you guys. All right, there we go. And my screen is up. Excellent. All right, we're in good shape now. Good stuff here. Is that what I wanted? All right. So like I said, we're talking about mapping it out, cheat sheet to build a successful business in 6 months. And just to give a little bit of background about myself, I think Tiana already articulated that I do have an executive master's in business from the Drucker School of Management, which I'm really, proud of. That's always something I always wanted to accomplish. And it gave me a lot of perspective on entrepreneurship. I hold certifications in leadership, management, and strategy. My background actually is increased 17 years as far as understanding business management technology. And I started over 3 different companies, which all make me money today. So I got Rich Man Training, which is an entrepreneur mentorship program that I've done. It's more kind of a give back to the community to help those level up, to give people a hand up so they can build their businesses. So I do, it's not a big money maker for me, but I sometimes throw me a couple of dollars here. The other thing is True Statement Publications. True Statement Publications is, I'll tell you a little bit about that. Hold on, let me pause on there. I'll tell you a little about how that business came about because it came on an entrepreneur kind of whim. So Strategic Intent Consulting Group is an information technology and cybersecurity service company. And we do contracts for folks like the NSA, National Security Agency. We do contracts for like the Veterans Affairs Department. We also do contracts with medium-sized, small-sized businesses where we become their outsourced IT department and we protect their data and as well as give them support. And as a result of that, doing so well in that space and the business growing, I think I launched the company a few years ago, a couple of years ago, the case is. And that business has grown so well. And ultimately, when people think you're in technology, they think you could do everything, just one of those things. So as a result of that, they start asking us to build websites. And I took the challenge. We started building websites and ultimately that morphed into doing digital marketing for businesses. So I split that portion of the business off and created True Statement Publications, which is it's right now, it's tearing it up. We're just doing some great numbers right now. I saw last quarter numbers and it just was ridiculous. So in any case, as a result of that, we spent off our digital marketing practice into True Statement Publications. And True Statement Publications does all digital marketing in hand as far as social media, content development, video editing, all those things for a lot of organizations. And why am I sharing this all with you? Let's see here real quick. Is because I want to give you some background and breadth and experience that, being an entrepreneur is really truly understanding how to identify a gap in a service, okay? And filling that gap. That's all entrepreneurship really is. You look at a situation, you see what's missing, and you figure out a service solution or something, a skill that can fill that gap. And you deliver that service and you deliver it well. And if you could do that, I guarantee that you will do well in entrepreneurship, okay? So the things we're going to go ahead today is I'm going to show you how I took an idea and used it to generate over 7 figures in revenue in less than 24 months. Okay, it was all about intelligent planning and sourcing. That's all it was. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm just very effective at knowing how to put pieces together like Lego sets. And that's all you have to do to be an entrepreneur. Just really have to understand how to put things together and just have the audacity, have the patience, and have the ability to continue to carry on that mission for months, if not years. Next thing is I'll show you the exact tools and strategy that I use to make it happen for me. All right. And for myself, just a little bit more background on me. People don't know this. It's interesting. I sit down with a lot of folks. We're talking about high profile executives for some large corporations, even with the government. I'm a dropout. Believe it or not, I'm a high school dropout. I was a degenerate, literally. And I got a GED. I decided to go to college because I wanted the money that came with the Pell Grant. Was it the Pell Grant or something like that when you're in junior college? And because I was flat broke, I had nothing. All right. And I actually got straight A's my first semester in junior college. I went to Chaffey College in Cucamonga. And I was like, oh, wow. And I could really do this. And the truth is I worked really hard because I didn't want to get the money back. I heard if you failed your classes, you had to get some of that money back. So I didn't want to do that. So as a result of that, I made sure that I got good grades. Then this ended up turning into an opportunity as far as me learning about different things in school. That's what ultimately did. And I came across this thing called a computer. I never really touched a computer before, and I fell in love with it. And as a result of that, I built a phenomenal career in corporate, into working for Fortune 1000 company, and ultimately morphed off into my own. So just a little bit more about that. I like to give fun facts through when I have conversations. So next thing is, know this is not a theory I'm giving you. As much as I love academia, I love you, academia. I listen to Gary Vee a lot. If you guys don't know who Gary Vee is, look him up on any social, and he's a phenomenal entrepreneur. And I'll tell you right now, just like, he says, you will never know until you do it yourself. You really don't know. Don't go off of theory. Don't go off of some concept in books. Please don't do that. Of course, that gives you a good solid ground. And I hold an executive MBA, so I went through a lot of college. So never discount education. I think education is super important. But in order for you to scaffold and become a true entrepreneur, you really, really, really have to, okay? You really have to do it yourself. And don't let somebody else's perception or belief or thought towards your perspective, because you might have that special, unique gift that can actually make you a winner in that particular space. And just because somebody else told you how they fail, or just because somebody wherever else tell you this is how it goes, it doesn't roll that way. So you need to do it yourself, okay? So today's agenda is this. We're going to plan out a business. We're going to talk about planning out a business. I'm going to talk about setting up your business. I'm going to talk about staffing the business. I'm going to talk about selling and marketing the business, okay? So we're all with me? You get on board? All right. And let's see how we're doing on time, okay? So let's talk about planning the business. I don't care if it's going to be selling popsicles on the corner out of an ice cream truck, or you have the ideal to build a tech company that you're going to take public in 5 years and become a billionaire. Okay, I don't care. It all starts with a business plan. Now, a lot of people get scared of business plans. Oh, Thomas, I don't know how to do it. And, I guess, okay, just relax. Okay, just relax. Take a breather. All right, take a small breather. Nice thing is, I heard a great thing. This El Camino College here that I'm presenting for is going to have an entrepreneur program, which of course is. I encourage you to take it. Okay, please take it, because they'll help you walk through and make not make too many mistakes. And I'm pretty sure they're going to walk you through set up the business plan. But for those who aren't going through the program, start with the one-page business plan. Don't make it crazy and complicated. Okay, and the one-page business plan. And let's see here. I just want to check, make sure my screen share. All right, so the one-page business plan, I'm going to just kind of hip you to. Let's close that out. Is something that you can get online for free from an organization called Gazelle. Okay, so the Gazelle, like, when you run the Gazelle, well, the case is, so Bernhard Gazelle, he does a phenomenal job of giving you the tools or explaining to you, okay, the basic information you need to build a business plan. And this is what we do right here. This is what we call one-page strategic plan. Same concept. It's a business plan. And it gives you really simple stuff. Type in your organization. So we'll go SICG, okay? Talk about your employees, okay? What employees we have. Let's talk about the type of our customers, okay? Let's talk about our shareholders. Now, for those who do not have a corporation or LLC, or actually more so a corporation, you probably won't have shareholders. But if you have an LLC, then you have members, okay? If you're sole proprietor, you may not have that. And just to give you guys, just let me take a step back, because that's something I should have started with. Before you even consider, starting a business, make sure that you go through all the legal stuff. Super important, okay? That means make a determination of what type of business entity you want. Is it going to be an LLC, limited liability company? Is it going to be a corporation? Well, so what type of corporation? Is it going to be a C corporation, an S corporation? Is it going to be the new thing is, what's that, low profit corporation that has different rules? But if you have any questions about setting that up, please go ahead and message me or get my contact me, and I'll explain all that stuff to you in detail. I know how to do it like the back of my hand. I do the paperwork on myself all the time. So jump back into the one-page strategic plan, okay? So as you're going through this, right, it helps you real simple. So what is your core values? Like my company, we have 5 core values, okay? The number one is being win-win. I always believe in win-win. Win-win for myself, win-win for my client. Why? Is because if I put myself in a position to where I'm losing money, I'm not going to be happy and not really want to service that client correctly. Or if I put myself or put the client in a position where he's not getting the best service, he's going to be unhappy. He's going to take his money somewhere else, right? Okay. So next thing is, let's talk about your purpose. What is the purpose of your organization? Let's talk about, your targets, your future date, your revenues, what type of revenues you want to, this helps you formulate. And I could go through this. I could probably spend 45 minutes going through all this, but I just want to give you a taste of it. Start with a business plan, and do not go too stupid and crazy with a huge one. Start with building blocks, okay? Small baby steps. People don't realize, they think they just have to do everything just like off the back. It doesn't work that way, okay? Baby steps. Okay, let's see, client's calling me. Let me tell her I'm in a call. All right, there we go. So next, once you build your one-page business plan and you start vetting out your business, let's talk about taking something a little bit further. And you want to build a really robust business plan. I'll tell you something I use, and I could do a business plan from scratch, but why would you do that when there's so many free tools? Our tools very inexpensive online that you use. So what I have here is theliveplan.com. Okay, for $10 a month, this is basically a tool that you can go on, and it's a questionnaire, and it asks you specific questions about what type of business you're in, and it'll walk you through everything. It'll talk about the strategy, the marketing, strategy. It'll talk about, the vision, your mission. It'll walk you through everything. Really simple, really, really simple. And I always tell people who ask me, Thomas, could you help me write a business plan? Well, why are you going to pay me $4,000 or $5,000 to help you do that when you could pay $10 a month and go to Live Plan? Go to Live Plan, and they give you so many examples. They give you so many examples of business plans on so many different things. If it's tech business, if it's open a pizza shop, whatever it may be, it's so many. Okay, so let's go and jump back into the deck. All right, here we are. And again, just want to drive home. Start with the business plan, because what you want to do with the business plan, basically, you're going to use this as a template to vet your idea, and you'll realize how many holes are in your idea and what you need to do to shore it up so you can start the business. Now, the one-page business plan won't suffice for a business loan, but it takes you on the right road. Now, if you do the Live Plan, that will actually build out a plan. Ask you a question: do you want to use this plan for investors? You say yes, then it'll give you all the questions that's necessary to actually, or give you all the questions necessary to actually formulate a full business plan that you can take to an investor or to a bank. Follow me? So the next thing is the marketing plan. All right, marketing plan, don't overcomplicate it. And the reason, what I want to drive home here is, don't overcomplicate it. Okay, very, very simple. Here goes a simple template here that I like to use. All right, this was me actually just comparing competitors, because I was going to launch a LMS, learning management system, online platform. We're doing some research on it to see if this is something we really want to spend our money on. So it's really simple. First things first, start with your target customer. Okay, and the thing is, the target customer is, who is this person you're going to serve? Is it a person, business consumer, or is it a business to business? What does this profile look like? Is it put in your head a Jane Doe or a John Doe? Okay, just get this in your head. Who's this person going to sell? Are they in the suburbs? Okay, are they in the city? Are they in a rural area? What type of things that they actually like to look at, as far as maybe if it's a product, say for example, we'll use a woman for example. Let me just go walk you through it. So say you want to sell to a business professional, a woman who's a business professional, which seems to be a hot thing right now. So you have to ask yourself, is she a mom? How old is she? Where does she live? What race is she? Even down to what maybe religion, everything else. And that will help you create this profile of this person. And I guarantee you that one profile, there's 1 million, 2 million, 3 million of those individual people, that profile that you can sell to. And that's what we do. Even for myself, in my business, we do business to business. So I create a business profile. My business profile, my sweet spot is companies that do about $30 million in revenue, who has somewhere around 20 to maybe 50 employees. That's my sweet spot. Don't get me wrong, though. I got some clients who do over 100 million in revenue, and the federal government, they tons of money. But we put that's anomaly. But in any case, I know who my client is. Who am I selling to? All right. The next thing is, you want to talk about your price and products, your services. Is it competitive? Does it meet the market? And not the national market, every market, your local market. Even for myself, I understand Southern California has multiple markets. It has San Diego, has the Empire. It has Orange County, has LA. It even has the Valley, even has Central California. I know this. So I position my products, my services based on the county or the market, and what they are actually looking for in that particular market. So now I've got the profile, I have the market, okay? Then that helps me develop a marketing strategy. How I'm going to do this? Is this going to be spin marketing? Is it going to be, social media marketing, direct marketing, however it is? It's going to be email marketing. Is it going to be text marketing? I walk myself through all this stuff. All right. So that's a bit about the marketing plan. And like I said, I could spend probably literally a whole semester teaching about marketing. But the point is, I want to walk you through this on how to get this laid out. So next thing is, we talked about the business plan. You have a business plan, you have a marketing plan, because at the end of the day, yeah, the business plan is nice. It gives you strategy, how you're going to formulate the business, how you're going to set the values and everything else, right? And the marketing plan is going to tell you what type of product you're going to have, how you're going to sell that product, how you're going to make money. Because at the end of the business, at the end of the day, you do not have a business, okay? You do not have a business until you have a customer. Just understand that. And I take it a step further. You don't have a business until you have enough revenue to sustain your expenses. Because when you start a business, typically you're going to eat it. You mean you're going to lose money at least for the first 90 days, at least if you're really good and efficient, what the case is. All right. You're not going to make money. Even if you're a sole proprietor, you still have to pay your rent. You still have to pay your mortgage, whatever it is. And if you decided to start a business, go all the way in, you're going to, at the end of the day, you're going to, you need money. All right. So you have to figure that out. So the next thing is, do I have the resources? Okay. So that's, you have to ask yourself the question. And I actually, on Tiana, I did a whole segment on how to raise capital to start your business. All right. I wrote a whole segment on that. And the thing is really 3 ways to get money. All right. And when I say resources, money, okay, you go to the bank, which is the most complicated way to do it. All right. You have to have a business plan. You have to have all that stuff. The other thing is, you could try to go get a hard loan, be scared which falls on the bank. Hard loans, you could stay away from. I'm telling you right now, because you'll get eat up in interest. All right. The other way is you try to get friends and families to invest into it. Okay. Or find an investor. Well, if you need an investor, you need a pitch deck. And maybe one day I'll teach you how to put a pitch deck together to get investors. Okay. And then the other way is self-finance. So you basically, if you have a 401k, if you're an older person who has 401k, you can cash out that 401k, and there's companies who will take it and help you buy a business. If you're younger folk, I try to tell people stay away from credit cards, but if that's what you want to do, that's your choice, what the case is. But you have that option. But savings is another option. All right. So those are kind of different ways to raise finance. And again, maybe one day I'll just give a whole segment on how to get money. All right. Next thing is setting up the business. So setting up the business, I'll kind of walk you through how I do mine. Since I own an IT business, I have the flexibility to pull resources all from the cloud. So for folks who don't know what the cloud is basically a server that somebody owns that you're using to access resources. That's all the cloud is, okay? And I'll give you one of my favorite tools. And let me pull it up here. For those who don't have a lot of money, it's a thing called Zoho One, okay? Zoho One is like the holy grail to apps. You're talking about for $39 a month, you get 40 apps, all right? You get this fancy bolt to keep your passwords. If you want to do email campaigns, you have something, and when I say email campaigns, that means, email marketing. So you upload a list of emails and you send a blast out to all those people. Well, that comes a part of this $39 package, okay? If you want to do Sales IQ, this app itself, you just connect to your WordPress site or whatever, if it's your Square site, and you can actually see where people are going to your site the most, what links they're clicking on and stuff like that. Next thing is here is Zoho Sign. So we heard of eSign or Echo Sign or whatever signs they have out there. Well, Zoho Sign, same thing that you can do electronic signatures for clients if you're in a service business and you need to get an engagement letter signed, okay? So that comes a part of it. Super, super powerful tool. Expense, you have to always record your expenses when you own a business, because you have to report it, because expense actually deducts from your income. So when you report to the IRS what your net profit is, what you get taxed on, it lowers that. And I could go on and on about how to deal with that. All right. So these are a lot of the different tools. They also have an accounting software built into it that I truly believe rivals QuickBooks. So if you don't want to spend, the money for QuickBooks, and yes, you have to have an accounting system. All right. Super important. All right. Have an accounting system, because if you don't, when people ask you, about how your business is doing, it's going to be very difficult to prove that you're making money if you don't have some type of accounting system. So this all comes in one. Oh yeah. And the really cool thing is, let me see here, is these are all the apps. So I could go on and on. If you want to do even webinars like this, Showtime allows you to do webinars like this. Projects, you can manage projects. You got social. So for those who want to start dabbling and doing social, maybe do digital marketing, and you want to pick up a few clients, well, Zoho Social also gives you the ability to manage multiple social media platforms. And must I remind you, All of this is for $39. And look, I make no money. They should pay me for this, really, because I'll always talk about it. And even a CRM system is just beautiful. So CRM, for those who don't realize it, is a customer relationship management system. And this is where I keep all my clients in. And the reason I'm not showing it to you because it's private information, all my clients in there. This is basically how I keep tabs on my clients. How many times we email them, because all this stuff integrates with each other. So how many times do we email them? A marketing campaign, how many of them clicked on it, how many that opened them, just all these different things. And I don't care what kind of business you're in, you need a CRM to overview and see what your clients are, what your prospective clients are doing. Even our clients, I even got my clients' birthdays in here. So it sends me an alert saying, hey, this is a birthday, so my assistant can send them a present. How cool is that? Have a system to do all that, okay? So now I walked you through this. We talked about CRM. Let's talk about unified communications. So for those who don't have a lot of money, all unified communications is just a phone system, okay? So a phone system is something that basically when people call, you call my company, you get a voicemail saying, hey, thank you for calling SICG, push 1 for customer support, or whatever it is, okay? And they click it, and our system can ring my cell phone, my laptop, or my desk phone all at the same time. And guess what? I can pick it up. So how cool is that? Whatever your business you're running, and what we use is Ring Central, just to let you know. Let me see if I can bring up Ring Central real quick. No, but we'll bring that up. I think I can show you that. I don't think it's anything too crazy in there. So we use Ring Central, but there's tons of other things out there. And here's my platform right here. So when somebody calls, it's a full phone system. If somebody wants to fax me, it can go to my cell phone. I can look at the fax on my cell phone. Somebody could text message me, or I could take a call when I'm in my car if somebody calls the office, and that keeps me in business. All right. So I have all these great tools. And what I'm trying to drive home here is that you need to have the tools, and they're so inexpensive. I think in total for my CRM, for my phones and all that, I think I pay like maybe $200 a month or something like that. So you can have a full functioning office, especially now like a virtual office, for a couple $100. How cool is that? All right. And of course, you need reporting systems so you can see how well your sales are doing and all that other stuff. So now we set up the business, okay? We have all these great tools, we have everything else, and let's jump into staffing the business. All right, so I'm gonna show you, this is the cool stuff right here, okay? So for me, when my business grew, I had to make a determination how I wanted to build this. It was no longer Thomas, a sole proprietor. Now I got several clients, I can't handle where they sit. So I have to make a determination. What I'm gonna do here, okay? Am I going to, outsource? That's an option. Am I going to hire? That's an option. And when you hire, there's a lot of legalities, taxes, and everything else you're going to be responsible for. So think about these things, okay? How do I communicate with these folks, okay? All those different things. So what I did was what they called the third-party hiring. So I contracted companies who specialize in maybe doing help desk services. So I contracted them to handle all my help desk. So when you call in, you call my team, it's actually going to a help desk service I hired in Pennsylvania. And I hired, through them, they do all the hiring for me, hire all my technical resources. And it's at a nominal cost. Great. And guess what? I can scale up or scale down as I need those resources. The next thing is I started looking overseas. So I actually have built a team in the Philippines. I built a team as well is in India, and I pay for $5 an hour. So I have virtual assistants. I have all these different things to run my business effectively, to check my emails, to follow up and everything else. All right. Then, as far as hiring people, when I wanted to hire strategic people. I didn't want to hire worker bees. I hire strategic people, thinkers, brains. Okay. And I'm gonna give you this. Read this book by Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel, he's part of the LinkedIn, not LinkedIn, but the PayPal Mafia. And they're folks such as like this dude named Elon Musk and this guy, and I think his name's Andy Reid or something like that, who started LinkedIn. They came out of that little clique. All these people came out of small little cliques. So Peter Thiel actually was the godfather of them. He was, their leader. And he wrote a book called 0 to 1. So again, Peter Thiel by 0 to 1. And he talks about building a team. And I built my team on this concept. Find people who have the same similarities, the same belief systems, okay, as you do. Creates less conflict, all right? But have complementary skills, meaning, someone's strong accounting, I'm strong at strategic management, those things, okay? And that's how I started hiring my team. And I didn't hire my team in a pyramid. No, that's not the Rockefeller sign. I'm talking about here, okay? In the pyramid. I didn't hire them in a pyramid, okay? I hired for flat. We're all peers. Although I'm the biggest shareholder in the company, I own the company, I don't see them that way. I see them as peers. I respect them in their intelligence and their ability and their skill set, which I was taught by in human capital management. is to build a flat team in the beginning, okay? And I've done that. And they all do a phenomenal job. Is, the person who runs my digital marketing business now, she came off of my flat team, and she's basically the president of that portion of the business now, okay? So how do I communicate with all these folks? And I'm gonna try to wrap this up as quick as I can. Oh, 2-minute wrap up, okay. Is this. I use a thing called Teams, okay? And all these people, this is Microsoft Teams, they communicate with me wherever I'm at, all right? So this is my team telling me the websites they updated today, and I just let them know. I always appreciate them and thank them, let them know. So I use this and it helps me, it's my dashboard, it helps me manage a lot of things, all right? So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into, just try to wrap this up real quick, is we'll talk about selling and marketing the business, okay? So selling and marketing the business. I'm gonna do this in 3 minutes flat, okay? Because I keep getting, they keep flashing the light at me, the red light, they keep flashing, they're gonna kick me off, I know that. So use automated tools, okay? Automate all you can. Zoho One provides automated tools for social media marketing, okay? And they also give you reports that allows you to know how things are going. Internet marketing, all right? Very expensive, but that's Google ads. These are options, but you're talking about you're going to put about $2,000 to $3,000 a month to even be competitive. We talked about social media marketing, but podcasts, I'm gonna leave you on this. Podcast and blogging is probably the best way you can get out there as an entrepreneur. Start a podcast, talk about what you really understand and know, and blog about it. Because when you become an expert, if you look at my LinkedIn, actually follow me on LinkedIn, Thomas Slaughter, people actually will start calling you and asking you questions, and those become prospective clients. So I'm gonna leave it on that. Whew, got it done. Jam-packed that in there. So,
whew, that was a lot of information, but it was so good. Look, I don't think you can see my notes here, but I got a lot of notes, and I thought I knew a lot of stuff, but clearly and this goes to show you that every entrepreneur's journey is not identical, right? But there are some basic principles, Thomas, that I think you shared, and we had a couple of questions that I want to share with you. One of the things that came out is that most people look at, as you called it, the entrepreneur porn. I think that was so hilarious because they see the sexy side of business, right? But they don't see the back office stuff, like the reporting, like the accounting and the CRM and hiring a team. We get brought in by the sexiness of becoming an entrepreneur. Ooh, I get to, make my own schedule, be my own boss, hashtag, and we don't realize there's so much more into it. So one question that came up, taking it back to the very beginning, what are some ways that if someone's listening right now, how can they determine whether or not their idea is viable? So they want to start a business or they're in the startup phase. How can they determine whether or not their idea is viable?
Okay, so how you can determine the idea is viable is this, okay? First things first, and I'll walk you through it in 3 minutes. Pick your target market, okay? So you have an idea, figure out who you're gonna sell this to, whoever it may be, and create a persona of this person, all right? Who does this person look like? Where they're at, okay? Then once you do that, okay, then you start building a product to service just that one person. They're called your beachhead market. So where beachhead comes from, that concept, okay, is when they stormed the beaches in the World War II, and it was the first people who hit the beach and penetrated. That's your beachhead market, the first person you want to try to sell it to. Then once you formulate which is called your frame of your product, okay, your framework of your product, once you formulate that, then you go find a few people, okay, that you think fit your beachhead market, and you ask them questions, survey them. Survey, these folks, okay? And ask them, how much would you pay for this? What would you, do you value this? Is this something that, that you could use? And I always tell people, when you come up with a product, think of these, okay? Is your product going to make somebody's life easier? Is it going to create a faster process? Is it going to create more security for them? Okay? Because people typically buy off of their immediate needs, and humans' immediate needs are always typically driven by fear or by emotion. So just think of it from that perspective. And if you message me, I actually can give you what's called the 7 steps to entrepreneurship. It's actually a 7-step process on how to vet out your product.
And with that in mind, we also want to just bring attention to our beautiful illustrator, Lena, who's captured your presentation, which is beautiful. when you talk about, again, the 7 steps and, and kind of how to make your idea viable, just thinking through from A to Z, because you gave a lot in between, what's the average, let's say, timeline someone can realistically expect that, let's say I got an idea to go from like idea to launch, and from launch to, maybe making money in the bank, so to speak? What's kind of an ideal, maybe average? And I realize it might be different, but in your experience, what have you seen?
Okay, so I'll break it up into 3 different things. Okay, so if it's a brick and mortar, I would say, and when I say brick and mortar, that means you're going to open up a pizza shop, or you're going to open up whatever, glitz and glam shop, whatever it is, a hair salon. I would say give yourself about 6 months. And give yourself a couple months to write your business plan. Give yourself a couple months to secure the funding, and give yourself a couple months to do the actual building improvements and tenant improvements and get approved by whomever to allow you to open up. If you are a service, I can say, honestly, you could probably start a service company just like I did within 30 days. Now, I know I'm a little unique in that regards, but, if you follow the quick steps I gave you and put those tools together, you can typically do this in 30 days, even have yourself incorporated and have all your insurances and everything in place within 30 days to where you can actually start, promoting yourself out there for business. Now, if you are innovator and you are doing the Big Bang Theory and you want to create an app, then I would say give yourself about 18 months if you're trying to develop some type of app or trying to develop some type of new type of service, online service, because you're going to have to create this framework. You're going to have to get funding, and you're going to have to vet it out, and you're going to have to test it and run it again. And the reason I know that for a fact, because right now I'm working with an organization in Las Vegas that they are building a super duper app, and they contracted my company to work with them for the development process. And they are putting about 18 to 24 months for development and testing to actually launch it.
That was probably one of the most thorough timelines that I've ever received from an entrepreneur lens. I think if you're taking notes or you go back to recording, that was pretty thorough. From 30 days to 6 months to 18 months, very realistic, and really depending on how ambitious you are and how much you have a lot of this stuff set as well. So really quickly, as we wrap up with my last question that I have for you, Thomas, is, as an entrepreneur, what do you think are the 3, I'm going to just narrow down to 3 top skills that every entrepreneur needs to have?
Number 1 is resilience. Okay. Can't say that enough. And excuse the language, I don't know how many people I know who had phenomenal ideas, who had the ability, the skill set, but they punked out. And I'll give you a good example. So it's an organization, it's an app called, I think it's called Pandora. Or is people familiar with that app? It's some music app on your phone. Well, I met the guy who actually found the organization, and he told me that basically before he made a bunch of money, everybody punked out on him. Even this, super, intelligent guy who was in the military, and when they were flat broke, okay, he still kept the resilience and asked those folks, "We have no more money. Could you work for me for 6 months without getting paid?" And the ones who stuck around are all multimillionaires now. So you have to have resilience, okay? Because it's not going to shake out like you think it is. If you think it's going to take 12 months, think better to put another 12 months. So think 24 months. Always double the time you think it's going to take in your mind. The second thing is high energy. So you could probably see me. I'm freaking probably, I bounce off the walls. When people meet me, they're like, this dude needs Ritalin or something. But you have to have high energy, because without it, you're going to get tired. You're going to get worn out. You're going to just get drug out, really. It's tough. It really is. I don't know how many times I feel like crying when the case is, but when I woke up in the morning, it was a brand new day. My energy was popped back up, and it's not because I have a lifetime supply of Red Bull. It's just because I'm energetic about what I want to do. I'm excited. Okay. So resilience, high energy. All right. And third is leadership capabilities. All right. So everything I do, even dealing with my clients, they all look to me for my leadership prowess. They all look at me. It's crazy. Dude, you're the CEO of a freaking $100 million company. Why are you calling me at midnight telling me your problems? Well, because they trust in my ability to lead them through a situation. All right. And that holds true to my team. My team trusts me because I can lead. And if you're not a leader, find a leader. Find one. because those days when it's dark, lonely, cold, you're crying, you're going through the grit, whatever case is, somebody's going to have to step up and say, it's going to be okay. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be great.
And all leaders,
yeah.
And leaders, and there are leaders that make mistakes, and I like that you said you don't have to, find a leader, or someone along those lines. If I could even add a fourth, having, been a business owner for almost 10 years myself, is that you will experience failures, right? Like you said, that resilience piece, I think, ties so much into that. Like you said, it may not look how you envision. January, everybody was on high. 2020 vision hashtag, everybody was living their best life. And then all of a sudden we had a crisis, and it stopped people dead in their tracks, and they started to think about their goals. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to accomplish this now. Well, your goal is still your goal. You just maybe have a different pathway to your goal. So,
to your point, to your point to that, is just COVID came and hit, okay? It shook my business somewhat for the first few months, and we're scratching our head trying to figure this out. I'm like, okay, what we're going to do? And we had to pivot and say, okay, let's shift directions. Let's see what we're going to do. And as a result of that pivoting, we were able to find the level of success. But everybody was looking to me like, well, what are we going to do now? And I had to figure out how to pivot, and I had to figure out how to lead us through this time. And this is actually going to be our best year in the whole time in the history of my company, is because, I just could not, as a leader, I could not allow my team to feel lost, like they were a ship out in the ocean without a rudder. I just couldn't do it.
Well, congratulations on the success, Thomas, of your business. I think we can all give you a virtual hand clap and a real hand clap and all that wonderful stuff. Our team has been putting your contact information in the chat box. There's his LinkedIn. He's invited you to connect with him. You can also find his website there. He provided a wealth of information. So again, I hope you take note of that. Thomas, it's been a pleasure. I want to make sure that we get an opportunity, because as we've gone through, the Q&A, and please feel free to type in your questions. Feel free to type in, any in the chat box or anything that's resonated with you. We are now going to transition, because we're going to be introducing very shortly our faculty panel.
One thing, real quick, okay? I want to throw this out there. So I launched a Facebook group called the Entrepreneurs Gateway on Facebook. And, I didn't know what I was going to do with this group. I got like 100 people in the group, okay? And I didn't know what I was really going to do with it. But this is like, I just did this for Cal State San Bernardino. Actually, they're going to release my recording tomorrow. So for all the students who want to learn more about entrepreneurship, about all these tools, I'm going to start posting it in this group, because I'm getting so many people who's asking me about entrepreneurship and transitioning because of the COVID situation. So I'm inviting all of you to the group. It's called Entrepreneurs Gateway on Facebook. All right. Join the group and find me on LinkedIn as well. So I'll leave you on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas, so much.